This is a 20-minute beginner bed workout for anyone who cannot exercise lying down or just doesn't want to for any reason. It's designed for hypermobile bodies, but is just as safe and effective for anyone looking to improve deep core and joint stability. We'll be leaning against something, wall or headboard. This is going to eliminate the additional energy required to sit upright and also help protect our lumbar spine. And as always, you could do this on the floor if that's better for you. For support, I'll be using a wedge pillow under my knees, a small Pilates ball behind my lumbar spine, and a travel pillow for my neck. I encourage you to use whatever your body needs today. For equipment, a yoga block and thigh loop band are going to be optional. Let's get started. Position yourself so that you're leaning against your wall or headboard and you want your thoracic spine to connect with the surface. You want to be close enough that you can rest your head against the surface behind you and then leave a little bit of space at the lumbar spine. I'm going to go ahead and toss my small ball back here to both provide support as well as proprioceptive input. If I feel my back arching away from the ball, I know that I'm extending my lumbar spine, which at no point is something I want to do. Your feet should be about hips distance apart, parallel to one another, trying to have your toes pointing straight ahead if possible. And you can play with the positioning of your feet in terms of distance from your pelvis. The further away from your pelvis you go, the more strain you may feel in your lumbar spine. So play with what feels good to you in terms of pulling those feet in a little bit closer to the pelvis to make sure that you're not arching your low back. And I'm also going to toss a wedge pillow under my knees, just giving me a little bit of additional support and again, some of that proprioceptive awareness to hold my positioning. We're going to get started with some relaxed breathing. Go ahead and try to rest your arms at your side or on your lap comfortably. I use the term comfortably loosely because we all know that arms just don't feel natural for us. Just take a minute here to settle into the space. Just letting the back of your skull gently sink into that surface behind you. And trying to let your neck muscles relax as much as you can. Staying loose through your jaw and your throat, not letting your teeth touch. Your tongue maybe lightly attached to the roof of your mouth, and the cool air going down your open throat as you inhale, into your open chest, your open belly, and that warm air coming out your open throat as you exhale. Coming out of that open chest, relaxed neck. And as you inhale, you're not trying to take as big of a breath as you can here. We're just trying to be as relaxed as we can, as natural as possible. Just letting your belly naturally rise as you inhale like a baby and naturally fall as you exhale. And staying loose all the way down through your hips, your pelvic floor. We're just going to move into a little bit of gentle core activation here. So I want you to try to envision that transverse abdominis muscle. And if you can't picture things in your mind's eye, that's okay. Bring your hands down to your abdominals. That muscle that attaches all the way around the base of the rib cage, front to back, wrapping all the way around you like saran wrap, and then attaching to the top of your pelvis, front to back. And so as you exhale, just starting to very gently tighten that muscle, hugging your belly and your low back towards your spine. Just a little bit, gentle hug, gentle activation. We're not forcing, we're not doing this as hard as we possibly can. Inhaling and releasing it. And as you exhale, just slowly drawing your exhalation out and gently compressing that muscle just a bit, just noticing that it's there. Maybe you're starting to feel that activation on your side body, the side of your ribs, down to the side of your pelvis. Inhale, releasing, and exhale, just gently pulling, compressing everything towards your spine. And continuing to stay relaxed through the neck, the jaw, the throat. And then go ahead, take this one step further. And as you exhale, continue drawing that exhalation out, compressing that deep core, pulling that pelvic floor up and in, taking us into full engagement here. And then inhaling and releasing. And slowly exhale, drawing the air out of your body, compressing your abdominals, belly and back toward the spine, hugging everything in. Inhaling and releasing. This feels a little bit like you're bracing to be tickled while you really have to pee, or you're laughing really hard and holding your pee in. And as we're doing this, our pelvis is staying in neutral. We're not letting our pelvis tuck or tilt. Now we're going to move into pelvic tucks. So we're going to move into a 2-step process here. On your exhale, compress that core, belly and low back towards spine. Then very gently bring your pubic bone a little bit closer towards your rib cage. Inhale, release it. Exhale, slowly compress that belly. Then gentle tuck. Moving really slow with your breath here, still trying to stay as relaxed as you can in your neck and your chest. And you want to make sure as you're tucking, you don't feel any pushing in your abdominals. We're not exerting any real effort or force here. Just letting the muscles do what they naturally do, bringing that pubic bone a little closer toward the rib cage. Good. Now go ahead and release that engagement, and then pull your pelvis into a very gentle tuck, just using your abdominals, and try to hold this here. And bring one hand to your lower abdominals and the other hand to the bottom of your rib cage. And as you inhale, I want that hand on your lower abdominals to stay where it is, and send your breath into that hand that's at the bottom of your rib cage. So inhale into your upper abdominals, and exhale, upper abdominals, air comes out. So this is lateral breathing. As you inhale, you're expanding sideways through your rib cage. Again, we're not trying to take a huge breath here. And as you exhale, the rib cage is naturally closing, falling back toward one another. Those lower abdominals holding your pelvis where it is. And you inhale, sending your breath into those upper abdominals, into the bottom of the rib cage. Exhale, naturally releasing from that same area. And release. We're going to move into thoracic extension here. You want to position yourself so that your thoracic spine is still resting against the wall, but you're able to keep your head away from the wall just a little bit. So we're just not resting our head this time. It is going to be important that we don't move our neck while we do this. So again, if you want to use a pillow or something else to help you immobilize your neck, that's never a bad idea. Keep your arms resting at your side comfortably. On your exhale, you're going to sit up a little bit straighter. And when I say little bit, I mean that very literally. So you're very gently pushing that part of the thoracic spine that's just above the area that's already touching the wall. You're very gently pushing that up toward the wall. And you're going to inhale, releasing back to relaxed. And exhale, extending your thoracic spine just a little bit while keeping your cervical spine completely still. This is a very teeny tiny movement here. Exhale, gently extend the thoracic spine. Inhale, releasing. Keep going very slowly, and if it starts to feel like too much, just stop early. These small stabilizer muscles may not feel like a lot at first, but they definitely start to fire up after a little bit. Whew, good work. Staying where you are, we're going to position ourselves close enough to the wall that we can comfortably rest the back of our arms against it, while also continuing to hug our arms toward our ribcage. Bend your elbows at 90 degrees, holding your palms up like you're holding a platter between your two hands, and try to make sure that you don't bend that wrist. And on your exhale, we're going to bring our thumbs toward the wall by externally rotating our shoulder blades. So you may feel your shoulder blades begin to press into the wall very gently. Try to keep your arms hugged toward your ribcage as you do this, and not everyone is going to be able to go all the way back toward the wall. We're inhaling, coming back to neutral. As you exhale, compress your abdominals very gently, externally rotating those shoulder blades. Thumbs moving toward your back. Inhale, back to neutral. Try not to let those shoulders creep up toward your ears. And release. We're going to move into single leg slides. You can stay here, and this time you can go ahead and rest your head against the wall if that's comfortable for you. You can either keep your arms down at the side or grab your stabilizer leg, which is going to be our left leg to begin with. On your exhale, compress your core and slide your right heel out away from your pelvis, holding a gentle micro bend in your knee. Don't fully release and relax that knee. Inhale, bringing it back up to neutral. Just continue moving with your breath. Exhale, compress your abdominals as you reach out. Keep that micro bend. Inhale, foot back toward pelvis. And while you're doing this, we're really trying to keep our pelvis exactly where it is, so only our leg is moving. We're not tucking or tilting, making sure that we compress our abdominals as we exhale and reach that foot away is going to help with that. And holding that pubic bone as you inhale, bringing that foot back towards your body. And last, we want to try to keep our kneecap and the top of our foot facing the ceiling. This keeps us in a neutral hip position. Good job. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Option to grab that right leg for support. And on your exhale, left heel sliding away from your pelvis, making sure to keep driving toward the midline of your body, so not letting the leg slide toward the outside of the body. And inhaling back to starting position. Again, just slowly moving with your breath. Exhale, compress your abdominals as you reach out. Hold that micro bend. Inhale. Bring it back in, holding that pelvis exactly where it is the entire time. Exhale, compressing as you reach out. Don't let that low back pull up or arch away from you as you reach that foot away. And inhale, bring it back in. And release. We're going to switch sides, and this time we're going to do slides away from and toward the midline of our body. Left leg is our stabilizer leg. On your exhale, slide that right leg away from you. You can relax your knee here. If this puts you into hyperextension, go ahead and just put something under your knee to support it. Bring your hands to your abdominals if it's comfortable for you. We really want to make sure we're compressing as we exhale on this one. Exhale, compress your abdominals, hold your pelvis, and slide your foot maybe an inch or two away from your body. Hold that for an inhale, and then exhale and slide your foot toward the midline of your body, just a little bit past neutral. Hold that for an inhale. Exhale, compress your core, slide your foot away from the midline of your body, just a little past midline. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, slide toward the midline of your body, a little bit past midline. So as we're doing this, we're using our inner thighs to pull toward our midline. We're using the outsides of our legs to pull away from the midline. And we're not trying to go as far as we can. This is about exercising control and isolation. Good work. We're going to go ahead and switch sides, doing the exact same thing on the other side. When you're ready, exhale, extend that left leg straight out in front of you. Take an inhale. Exhale, moving that foot away from the body. Inhale. Exhale, compress that core. Move that foot toward midline, just a little bit past. Take an inhale. Exhale, core compress. Hold the pelvis as you move that foot away from the body. Inhaling to prepare, just slowly moving with your breath as you do this. Exhale, compress, effort. Ooh, good work. We're going to move into some isometric work for your hip flexors and quads. You have the option to use a yoga block and a light thigh loop band here to lock and level you. For some people, a band can irritate the tissue, so this is up to you. But I'm going to put the block between my knees and the thigh loop band around my thighs. This is just going to give me a little bit of added stability and allow me to gently hug toward the block as I do this work. And again, we're still leaning against the wall, trying to make sure that we're staying relaxed in our upper body as much as we can, just above our deep core. On your exhale, compress your core, straighten that right knee, but hold a slight micro bend in it. And we're just going to stay here for a little bit. Hold your core in. Don't release that core activation. Just breathe through it. Release. We're just going to go one more time on the same side. So take a breath. Inhale, and when you're ready, exhale, compress your core, straighten that knee, hold that micro bend, hold it here in line with your other thigh. You can gently hug the block if that helps you. Working hip flexor, quad, deep core here. Good job, release it. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Take a breath. When you're ready, exhale, straighten that left knee, but hold a micro bend. Hold it here, keep your core activated, protect your low back. Good job. Inhale, release it. Take a breath. All right, one more time. Exhale, compress your core, straighten that knee, micro bend, hold. Keep that core engaged. Kneecap facing the ceiling. Good job, release it. You can get rid of the block if you're using it. And if you're not using a band yet and you'd like to use a band for your glutes, at this point, put your thigh loop band on. We're going to lean just a little bit further away from the wall so that we can still continue to rest our head against it without lengthening the back of the neck. We're going to take our feet out wider than hips distance, but we're going to try to keep them parallel, meaning our heels and our toes are both facing the same direction, straight forward. On your exhale, very gently compress your core and go ahead and tuck your pelvis so that you're holding a very gentle tuck through this entire movement. This is going to help us get into those smaller gluteal muscles, and it's going to help ensure that we don't pull up on our lumbar spine. So holding that gentle tuck, you can go ahead and walk your feet a little bit further away from your midline if that feels comfortable for you in terms of the resistance band you're using. And we're just going to hold this here for a while, doing some isometric work for our smaller gluteals, mostly working our abductors here. And so you may not be feeling anything right now. You may be, you may not be though, but just give it a little bit. Those smaller stabilizer muscles take a little while to fire up. That's normal. And it's also normal if you don't feel this at all at any point. That's okay too. What's most important is you don't feel any negative sensation in your lumbar spine. And what's most important is you don't feel the bulk of the work happening at the very top front of your hip. If that's the case, we want to maybe tuck the pelvis a little bit more. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel this. We're going to start alternating pulses as we exhale. So staying exactly where you are. Exhale, open that right knee just a little bit using your glute to pull it open. Inhale it back to where it was. Exhale, left knee pulls open just a little bit using that glute. Inhale it back to where it was. Go ahead and just slowly move with your breath. Exhale as you pulse. Teeny tiny movement here, isolated and controlled. All right, good work. Release it. Keep the band, but bring your feet together. Just take a break for a second. We're going to do a very similar movement, except this time we want to keep our feet either together or relatively close together. And then turn your toes facing outward so your heels are a little bit closer together. We're looking for duck feet here instead of pigeon feet. Very similar to the last movement, I want you to put your pelvis into a gentle tuck using just your abdominals. And then on your next exhale, pull your knees apart using your smaller gluteal muscles on the back of your hip, just pulling them open to a point where you can hold it for a little while. Because again, we're going to hold this isometrically, really trying to fire up our external hip rotators while also still working those abductors that we did in the last move. And you can play with how far your feet need to be from your pelvis. Sometimes if you move them further or closer to your pelvis, you'll be able to feel it a little more easily in your gluteal, so play with what works for you. This is essentially a variation of the clamshell exercise. All right, I don't know about you, but again, I'm starting to feel that. So same thing, we're gonna start pulsing on our exhale. So when you're ready, on your exhale, right knee pulses a little bit more open using the glute. Inhale back to where you started. Exhale, left knee pulses a little bit more open by using the glute. Inhale to where you started. I like to really picture that glute muscle pulling my knee open, doing that pulling motion that helps me really activate from the right place. Just moving with your breath. Good work, release it. We are done. I hope you feel a little bit more stable and comfortable in your body. I will see you for the next one, Bendy Friendy.